Hello, everybody. I'm Miguel Sanchez, and welcome to episode 5 of Movie History, Walt Disney Animation Studios. Oh my gosh, I'm really glad you're here. Are you all ready to have some fun? Right! Because this is the show that goes through every single Disney animated feature film, one by one. In the past 4 episodes, we took a look at Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Pinocchio, Fantasia, and Dumbo. This episode, we're heading to the forest of your dreams as we meet a little fawn who loves to spend time and live the life in his forest, who proved to become the prince of the forest. Are you ready to get the show started? Great, because here we go. Welcome to episode 5 of Movie History, Walt Disney Animation Studios, and today we are taking a look at Bambi. So all eyes are on you. You're just ready to get the show started. All the information you're about to see is taken from Wikipedia. So let's get the show started. And you haven't seen a previous episode, which is episode 4, where we took a look at Dumbo. There will be a link to that on the top right corner of the screen where you can click right now. And since today is Movie History Walt Disney Animation Studios, tomorrow we have Season 1, Day 5 of the Moshi Mashup League. Yay! Oh my gosh. So get ready for it. It's coming tomorrow, so don't miss it. But right now, for that to be something today, let's get ready for episode 5 of the show right now. Are you ready for it? Here we go. So let's see what the movie's about. First, about the movie. Bambi is a 1942 American animated drama film directed by David Hand, supervising a team of sequence directors, produced by Walt Disney and based on the 1923 book Bambi, A Life in the Woods by Austrian author and hunter Felix Salten. The film was released by RKO Radio Pictures on August 13, 1942, and is the 5th Disney animated feature film. The main characters are Bambi, a white-tailed deer, his parents, the great prince of the forest, and his unnamed mother, his friends Thumper, a pink-nosed rabbit, and Flower, a skunk, and his childhood friend and future mate, Faline. In the original book, Bambi was a roe deer, a species to native Europe, but Disney decided to base the character on a mule deer from Arrowhead, California. Illustrator Maurice Jake Day convinced Disney that the mule deer had large mule-like ears and were more common to Western North America, but that the white-tailed deer was more recognized throughout America. The film received 3 Academy Award nominations: Best Sound for Sam Slyfield, Best Song for Love Is a Song, sung by David Noyes, and original music score. In 2008, the American Film Institute presented a list of its 10 top 10, the best 10 films in each of the 10 classic American genres. After polling over 1,500 people from the creative community, Bambi placed 3rd in animation. In December 2011, the film was added to the National Film Registry of the Library of Congress. In January 2020, it was announced that a photorealistic remake was in development. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. As we take a look at the stats here. Directed by supervising director David Hand. Sequence directors are James Elgar, Samuel Armstrong, Graham Held, Bill Roberts, Paul Satterfield, and Norman Wright. Produced by Walt Disney. Story direction Paul Pierce. Story adaptation is by Larry Morey. Story development by Vernon Stallings, Melvin Shaw, Carl Falber, Chuck Coach, and Ralph Wright, based on Bambi, A Life in the Woods by Felix Salten, starring see below. We'll get to it. We'll get to it in the next 2 pages. We'll get to it 2 days. We'll get to it 2 slides from now. Music by Frank Churchill and Edward H. Plum. Production companies Walt Disney Productions, distributed by RKO Radio Pictures. Release date at the world premiere in London on August 9th, 1942, and the premiere in New York City on August 13th, 1942, and in the U.S. on August 21st, 1942. Running time is 70 minutes. Country is the United States. Language is English. Budget is $858,000, and the box office, the total is $267.4 million. Now, that's a lot. Got it? Good. All right, now let's get to the plot. Adele gives birth to a fawn named Bambi, who will one day take over the position of the great prince of the forest, a title currently held by Bambi's father, who guards the woodland creatures against the dangers of hunters. The fawn is quickly befriended by an eager, energetic rabbit named Thumper, who helps to teach him to walk and speak. Bambi grows up very attached to his mother, with whom he spends most of his time. He soon makes other friends, including a young skunk named Flower and a female fawn named Faline. Curious and inquisitive, Bambi frequently asks about the world around him and is cautioned about the dangers of life as a forest creature by his loving mother. Out of the middle, Bambi briefly sees the Great Prince, but does not realize that he is his father. As the Great Prince wanders uphill, he discovers the hunter named Man by all the animals is coming. It's coming and rushes down to the meadow to get everyone to safety. Bambi is briefly separated from his mother during that time, but is escorted to her by the Great Prince as the three of them make it back in the forest just as Man fires his gun. During Bambi's first winter, he and Thumper play in the snow while Flower hibernates. One day, his mother takes him along to find when Man shows up again. As they escape, his mother is shot and killed by the hunter. Leave the little fawn, the mournful and alone. Taking pity on his abandoned son, the Great Prince leads Bambi home as he reveals to him that he is his father. Next year, Bambi has matured into a young stag. His childhood friends have entered young adulthood as well. They are warned a Twitter patient by Fred Owl and that they would eventually fall in love. Although the trio viewed the concept of romance with scorn. However, Thumper and Flower soon encountered their beautiful romantic counterparts and abandoned their former thoughts on love. Bambi himself encourages Feline as a beautiful doe. However, their courtship is quickly interrupted and challenged by a belligerent older stag named Rado, who attempts to force Feline away from Bambi. Bambi successfully manages to defeat Rado in battle to earn the rights to the doe's affections. Bambi is awakened afterwards by the smell of smoke. He follows it and discovers it leads to a hunter camp. Bambi is warned by his father that Man has returned with more hunters. The two flee to safety. Although Bambi is separated from Feline in the turmoil and searches for her along the way, he soon finds her quartered by Man's vicious hunting dogs, which he manages to ward off. Bambi escapes them and is shot by a hunter. He soon finds her cornered by Man's vicious hunting dogs, which he manages to ward off. Bambi escapes them and is shot by a hunter. Meanwhile, at the Man's camp, their campfire suddenly spreads into the forest, resulting in a wildfire from which the forest residents flee in fear. Bambi, his father, Feline, and the forest animals manage to reach the shelter on a riverbank. The following spring, Feline gives birth to twins under Bambi's watchful eye as the new Great Prince of the Forest. So that's it. That's it for the plot, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, as we take a look at the cast, Bambi, the film's title character and protagonist. Bobby Stewart as Baby Bambi. Dottie Dunnigan as young Bambi. Hardy Albright as adolescent Bambi. John Sutherland as young adult Bambi. Thumper, a rabid friend of Bambi's. Peter Ben as young Thumper. Tim Davis as adolescent Thumper. Sam Edwards as young adult Thumper. Oh yes, Pauline Winstow as Bambi's mother and the pheasant. Flower, a striped skunk and another friend of Bambi's. Stan Alexander as young Flower. Tim Davis as adolescent Flower. Sterling Holloway as young adult Flower. Will Wright as Fred Owl. Feline, a female deer who Bambi eventually falls in love with. Cammy King as young Feline. Ann Gillis as young adult Feline. Fred Shields as the Great Prince of the Forest. Margaret Lee as Mrs. Rabbit. Mary Landsey as Aunt Ina and Mrs. Possum. Perce Pierce as Mr. Bull. Thelma Boardman as Girl Bunny, Quail Mother, a female pheasant. For the notes, sources differ on whether Sutherland actually voiced young adult Bambi. So, yep, that's pretty much it. Let's take a look at the production, starting with the development. In 1933, Sidney Franklin, a producer and director at Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, purchased the film's rights to Felix Salten's novel Bambi, A Life in the Woods, intending to adapt it as a live-action film. After years of experimentation, he eventually decided that it would be too difficult to make such a film, and he sold the film rights to Walt Disney in April 1937. Disney began work on crafting an animated adaptation immediately, intending it to be the company's second feature-length animated film and their first to be based on a specific recent work. However, the original novel was written for an adult audience and was considered too grim and somber for a regular lighthearted Disney film. The artists also discovered that it would be challenging to animate the deer realistically. These difficulties resulted in Disney putting production on hold while the studio worked on several other projects. In 1938, Disney assigned Perce Pierce, and Carl Fahlberg to work on the film's storyboards, but attention was soon drawn away as the studio began working on Fantasia. Finally, on August 17, 1939, production on Bambi began in earnest, but progressed slowly owing to changes in the studio personnel, location, and the methodology of handling animation at the time. So, no worries about that here, but we still got it together. Good. Moving on to the writing. There were many interpretations of the story. As Mel Shaw claimed, the story of Bambi had so many possibilities. You could go off on a million tangents. I remember one situation when Walt became involved with himself. He said, suppose we have Bambi step on an anthill and we cut inside and see all the damage he's done to the ant civilization. We spent weeks and weeks developing the ants, and then all of a sudden we decided, we're way off the story. This has got nothing to do with the story of Bambi. We also had a family of grasshoppers, and they get into a family squabble of this or that, and Bambi is watching all of this. And here is the head of Bambi in the grasshoppers. And what's that got to do with the story? And this would go on many times. Head of Bambi. Originally, the film was intended to have 6 individual bunny characters, similar to the dwarfs in Snow White, all the way back on episode 1. So give it a watch. However, Percy Pierce suggested that they could instead have 5 deteriorating rabbits and 1 rabbit with a different color in than the rest, with 1 tooth would have a very distinct personality. This character later became known as Thumper. There originally was a brief shot in the scene where Bambi's mother dies of her jumping over a log and getting shot by a man. Larry Morey, however, felt the scene was too dramatic and that it was emotional enough to justify having her death occurring off-screen. Walt Disney was also eager to show the man burned to death by his fire that he inadvertently started, but this was discarded when it was decided to not show the man at all. There was also a scene involving 2 autumn leaves conversing like an old married couple before parting ways and falling to the ground. But Disney found that that talking flora did not work in the context of the film. Instead, a visual metaphor of the 2 realistic leaves falling to the ground was used instead. Disney and his story team also developed the characters consisting of a squirrel and a chipmunk that were to be a comic duo reminiscent of Laurel and Hardy. However, after years of experimentation, Walt felt that the story should focus on the 3 principal characters: Bambi, Thumper, and Flower. The squirrel and chipmunk make only brief appearances in the final film. The writing was completed in July 1940, by which time the film's budget had increased to $858,000. Now, that's a whole lot. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Going to animation. Animation. Although the animators had animated deer in Snow White, they were animated, in the words of Eric Larson, like big flour sacks. Disney wanted the animals, like in Bambi, to be more realistic and expressive than those in Snow White. He had Rico LeBron, a painter of animals, come and lecture to the animators on the structure and movement of the animals. The animators visited the Los Angeles Zoo, and Disney set up a small zoo at the studio with animals such as rabbits, ducks, owls, and skunks, and a pair of fawns named Bambi and Feline, so that the artist could see firsthand the movement of each animals. Rico LeBron's sketches depicted realistic animals, but as characters they lacked personality. Mark Davis created the final design of Bambi by incorporating LeBron's realistic study of deer anatomy, but exaggerating the character's face by making his proportions baby-like, sore snout, big eyes, etc. Although there were no human characters. Although there were no humans in Bambi, live-action footage of humans was used for one scene. Actress Jane Rudolph and Ice Capades star Donna Atwood acted as live-action references for the scene where Bambi and Thumper are on the icy pond. The animators learned a lot about animals during the film's production, giving them a broader spectrum of animation styles to use in future projects. The backgrounds for the film were inspired by the Eastern American woodlands. One of the earliest and best-known artists for the Disney studio, Maurice Jake Day, spent several weeks in the Vermont and Maine forests, sketching and photographing deer, fawns, and the surrounding wilderness areas. However, his first sketches were too busy as the eye did not know where to focus. Tyrus Wong, a Chinese animator, showed Day some of his impressionistic paintings of a forest. Day liked the paintings and appointed him art director of the film. Wong's backgrounds were revolutionary since they had more detail around the center and less around the edges, thus leading a viewer's eye to the characters. Due to World War II, which began in Europe in 1939, Pinocchio and Fantasia failed at the box office. Facing financial difficulty, Disney was forced to cut 12 minutes from the film before final animation to save production costs. Again, Fantasia was on episode 3, and Pinocchio was on episode 2, so give those 2 episodes a watch if you haven't seen them yet. Now you know. Let's go to the songs. All lyrics were written by Larry Morey. All music is composed by Frank Churchill. So the number goes first, followed by the title, then performance, and then late. Number 1, Love is a Song by Donald Novus. Number 2, Later April Shower by the Disney Studio Chorus. Number 3, Let's Sing a Gay Little Spring Song by the Disney Studio Chorus. And number 4, Looking for Romance, I Bring You a Song by Donald Novus and the Disney Studio Chorus. And none of them have the length, so yeah, none of these songs have the official length, so yeah, now you know. Let's get to the release. Bambi was released in theaters in 1942 during World War II and was Disney's fifth full-length feature animated film. The film was re-released in theaters in the United States in 1947, 1957, 1966, 1975, 1982, and 1988. It was then made available in North America on home video in 1989 and the UK in 1994. Even in home video, it has seen multiple releases, including three VHS releases in 1989 as part of the Classics version, 1997 as part of the Masterpiece Collection version, and 2005 as part of the Platinum Edition version. One Beta Mass released in 1989 in the Classics version. Two Laserdisc releases in 1989 as part of the Classics version and 1997 as part of the Masterpiece Collection version, and most recently a digitally remastered Platinum Edition DVD. The Platinum Edition DVD went on the moratorium on January 31st, 2007. Bambi was released as a Diamond Edition on March 1st, 2011, consisting of a Blu-ray and DVD combo pack. This release included multiple bonus features not previously included in Bambi home releases: a documentary entitled Inside Walt's Story Meanings, Enchanted Edition, 2 deleted scenes, a deleted song, an image gallery, and a game entitled Disney's Big Book of Knowledge, Bambi Edition. This release also marked the first use of Disney's Second Screen, a feature which is accessed via a computer or iPad app download that syncs with the Blu-ray disc, allowing the viewer to follow along by interacting with animated flipbooks, galleries, and trivia while watching the movie. A UK version of Diamond Edition was released on February 7th, 2011. In honor of the film's 75th anniversary, Bambi was released as part of the Walt Disney Signature Collection on May 23rd, 2017 for digital, and June 6th, 2017 for the Blu-ray/DVD/digital couple pack. See, that's pretty much it. Let's get to the reception. Starting with the critical reaction. At the time of the film's release, Bambi received mixed reviews from the critics, mainly because of the lack of fantasy elements in the film and objection toward a dramatic story of animals and their struggle to survive in the woods and avoid the threat of humans. Hunters spoke out against the movie, and in a 1942 edition of the magazine Outdoor Life, that editor Raymond Brown wrote that the film was the worst insult ever offered in any form to American sportsmen. The New York Times claimed that in the search for perfection, Mr. Disney has come perilously close to tossing away his whole own world of cartoon fantasy. Manny Farber of the New Republic deemed the film unpleasant. He also stated that in an attempt to ape the trumped up realism of flesh and blood movies, he has given up fantasy, which was previously much the magic element. Even Disney's daughter Diane complained, saying that Bambi's mother did not need to die. When Walt claimed he was only following the book, Diane protested, saying that he had taken over other liberties before, and that Walt could do whatever he wanted. Today, however, Bambi is viewed as one of the greatest animated films ever made. On the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, the film has an approval rating of 90% based on 49 reviews with an average rating of 8.22 out of 10. The website consensus reads, elegantly animated and deeply touching, Bambi is an endearing and moving Disney classic. Critics Mick Martin and Marcia Porter call the film the crowning achievement of Walt Disney's Animation Studio. English film historian Leslie Holliswell wrote that Bambi was one of Disney's most memorable and brilliant achievements, with a great comic character in Thumper and a climactic the forest fire sequence that is generally thrilling. He concluded that it was a triumph of the animated arts. The film received 3 nominations at the 15th Academy Awards, including the Academy Award for Best Original Song for Love Is the Song, sung by Donald Novis, Academy Award for Best Original Score for Frank Churchill, Posthumous, and Academy Award for Best Sound Mixing, Sam Slyfield. In June 2008, the American Film Institute revealed its top 10, the best 10 films in 10 classic American film genres. After polling over 1,500 people from the creative community, Bambi was acknowledged as the 3rd best film in the animation genre. It is also listed in the top 25 horror movies of all time by Time magazine. Bambi, Time states, has a primal shock that still haunts oldsters who saw it 40, 50, 65 years ago. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's go to the box office. The film was released during World War II and did not perform as well as hoped. Roy O. Disney sent a telegram to his brother Walt after the New York opening of the film that read, fell short of our holdover figure by $4,000. Just came from Music Hall, unable to make any deals to stay third week. Night business is our problem. The film earned RKO theatrical rentals $1,270,000 in the United States and Canada in its initial release. Disney lacked access to much of the European market during the war. However, the film earned rentals of $1,685,000 internationally for an initial worldwide total of $2,955,000. Disney's 3rd highest, behind Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs from 1937 with $7.8 billion and Pinocchio in 1940 with $3.2 billion. In its first reissue in the United States in 1947, the film earned additional domestic rentals of $900,000, but did much better 10 years later, more than doubling the domestic rental total, with a further $2.5 billion taking its to. With a further $2.5 million, taking its total domestic rental earnings to $4.7 million. The film earned $14 billion in domestic rentals from its reissues in 1966 and 1975, giving it a total domestic rental of $18,735,000, which equates to a gross of around $40 billion. In 1982, it grossed another $23 billion in the United States and Canada, and in 1988, a further $39 million, taking its total in the United States and Canada to $102 million, making it at the time the 2nd highest grossing animated movie of all time after Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. With grosses from international reissues, the film has a worldwide gross of $267 million. That's a whole lot of money. Can't wait to see more of that. Let's go to home media. Prior to Bambi's initial release on home video on September 28, 1989, the initial orders placed in the United States and Canada up to the end of August totaled 9.8 billion units, the 2nd largest number of orders for a video at the time, behind E.T. the Extraterrestrial, with a wholesale value of $167 million. So now you know that's pretty much it. In comic adaptation, the Silly 70s Sunday comic strip ran a 3-month-long adaptation of Bambi from July 19th to October 4th, 1942. So that's pretty much it. In the controversy, this film. Okay. In the controversy, actually, well, guess what? We already saw the controversy. That was from Debo, so sorry about the people. Legacy. Okay, hold on. Move on to the legacy. The off-screen villain, man, has been placed number 20 of AFI, on AFI's list of heroes and villains. Some critics cited a parallel between Ray Churchill's theme for music for Man, which consists of 3 simple notes, and John Williams' theme music in Jaws, which consists of 2 notes. Paul McCartney has credited the shooting death of Bambi's mother for his initial interest in animal rights. Soon after the film's release, Walt Disney allowed his characters to appear in fire prevention public service campaigns. However, Bambi was only loaned to the government for a year, so a new symbol was needed, leading to the creation of Smokey Bear. Bambi and his mother also make cameo appearances in the satirical 1955 Don Duck short No Hunting, drinking from a forest stream. The deer are startled by a sudden trickle of beer cans and other debris. Bambi's mother tells him, Man, it's in the forest. Let's dig out. In 2006, the Ad Council, in partnership with the United States Forest Service, started a series of public service announcements that feature footage from Bambi and Bambi 2 for wildfire prevention. Through the ads, as the Bambi footage is shown, the screen will momentarily fade into black with the text, "Don't let a forest become once upon a time," and usually, but not always, ending the ads with Bambi's line, "Mother, what are we gonna do today?" Followed by Smokey Bear saying, "Only you can prevent wildfires." As the Smokey logo is shown on screen, the ads air on various television networks, and the ad council also put them on YouTube. In December 2011, Bambi was among the films selected for preservation in the Library of Congress's National Film Registry. Its induction at the registry said that the film was one of Walt Disney's favorites and that it has been recognized for its eloquent message of nature conservation. So yeah, that's it for the legacy. Going into the American Film Institute, AFI's 100 Years, 100 Movies, nominated. AFI's 100 Years, 100 Heroes and Villains. 100 Years, 100 Heroes and Villains, Man, number 20 villain. AFI's 100 Years of Film Scores, nominated. AFI's 100 Years, 100 Movies, 10th Anniversary Edition, nominated. AFI's 10 Top 10, number 3 animated film. Man, I really love it. In the suite, moving on to the sequel, set in the middle of Bambi, Bambi 2 shows the great prince of the forest struggling to raise a motherless Bambi, and Bambi's doubts about his father's love. The film was released direct-to-video on February 7, 2006, while the film was a direct-to-video release in the United States and other countries, including Canada, China, Hong Kong, Japan, and Taiwan. It was a theatrical release in some countries, including Australia, Brazil, Dominican Republic, France, Mexico, the United Kingdom, and some other European countries. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Over the computer animated remake, on January 28, 2020, it was announced that a photorealistic CGI feature-length remake is in development with a script co-written by Geneva Robertson, Dorrit, and Lindsay Beer, Paul Weitz, Chris Weitz, and Andrew Miano will produce the film. A joint venture production between Walt Disney Pictures, Depth of Field Studios, and No Universe Productions. The Walt Disney Company described the film as a companion piece to The Jungle Book from 2016 and The Lion King from 2019, as the 3 films feature wildlife that requires extensive CGI and special effects. So very good. Finally, for the copyright. And finally, to wrap it up with the copyright, the copyrights for Bambi, A Life in the Woods, were inherited by Ann Weiler, Salton's daughter, who renewed them in 1954. After her death, Weiler's husband sold the rights to Twin Books, a publishing company which subsequently filed a lawsuit against Disney, claiming Disney owed it money for the continuing license for the use of the book. Disney countered by claiming that Sultan had published the story in 1923 without a copyright notice. Thus, it immediately entered into the public domain. Disney also argued that if the claimed 1923 publication date was accurate, that the copyright renewal filed in 1954 had been registered after the deadline and was thus invalid. The courts initially upheld Disney's view. However, in 1996, the Ninth Circuit Court reversed the decision on appeal. So, Yes, pretty much it. But that's it for Bambi! Yay! Oh my gosh. We finally made it to the end of the episode, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get to the final thoughts about the story. Final thoughts about the story. Man, Bambi, can't wait to see more of that. Oh, man. Bambi is one of the most iconic Disney movies of all time, and therefore it is definitely the best. Let's give it 10. No doubt about that, but I'm rating it with a perfect score of 10 out of 10. Yay! Perfect! Oh my gosh, Bambi is yay! Oh my gosh. The second movie to give it a perfect score of 10 out of 10. First one to do so was Pinocchio, all the way back on episode 2. So give that an episode to watch if you haven't seen it yet. That's only my personal and considered opinion. Feel free to agree or disagree with any of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Well, that's it, guys. It's all over. Thank you all for watching another episode of Movie History, Walt Disney Animation Studios. Yay! Oh my gosh. We'll see you tomorrow for season 1, day 5 of the Moshi Mashup League. We'll be back very soon for the next episode, for the next exciting episode of the series. But we do have new episodes of Moshi Sleep Story Reactions and Moshi Monsters by Feet later on today. Coming soon, we have Logo History episode 277, where it's going to be about Television Publica. So stay tuned for it. But with that, guys, all these was come to the end. So thank you all for watching. You have a great rest of your day. I am Miguel Sanchez. You be yourself. And I will see you next time on Movie History, Walt Disney Animation Studios. Thank you all for watching today. Short episode today. Most of the videos coming at more than 40 minutes long. Fantasia comes in at nearly 90 minutes long. But at almost 90 minutes long. But this one only took 1.5 hours to do it. 30 minutes to get the job done. So thanks for watching, guys. We will see you next time for episode 6 as we take a look at Saludos Amigos. So get ready for it. Oh my gosh. It'll be the 6th animated feature film from Walt Disney Animation Studios, so we're going to cover it in episode 6. So don't go anywhere. Anyway, we'll see you soon for episode 6. I'm just taking a look at Saludos Amigos. Until next time, I'm Miguel Sanchez. Please remember to leave a like, share this video with your friends, leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also, turn on notifications to not miss a new video. Please subscribe and notifications, turn on to not miss another new video from me, as we are now on the road to 700 subscribers. Thank you for watching. You make it a fantastic day, and we'll see you with more great content later on. Man, are you so excited to be a part of this? Yeah, I thought so too. But anyway, all these will come to an end. Thank you all for watching. And we'll see you for Moshi's Sleep Story Reactions and Moshi Monsters Biography later on today. I'm Miguel Sanchez. God bless Epic Gaming. You make it a fantastic day, and I'll make it your own. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching. Like, favorite, subscribe. We'll see you in another video. Laters!